Bob and Marcy, an absolutely lovely elderly couple and the duo behind Mr. Bubba's Adventures, are true lovers of the outdoors. They never miss a chance to jump into their van and explore America, chasing breathtaking landscapes and unforgettable trails. In this story, we join them as they head toward Mount Hood, Oregon. But I'll let them tell you more about this adventure themselves. Both have such warm, comforting voices that make you want to keep listening.
On Route 35 into Oregon towards Mount Hood.
Well, we're almost to Mount Hood, and the weather has turned a little bit. It's raining and it's pretty foggy. Wow, I hope we can see it when we get there after all this. The weather's finally starting to break, and you can see Mount Hood out in the distance.
I didn't want to say anything in front of Bob, but I did a great job picking a spot. Look at that. Mount Hood.
After spending the night near Mount Hood, the next day Bob and Marcy hit the road again, this time heading toward Mount Hood National Forest for a night surrounded by nature. But the spot they choose to camp in apparently has a history, a dark one. And we're about to find out why, through the following news reports.
Recovered the remains of a woman 2 weeks ago off a Forest Service road close to Estacada. They believe she was killed recently.
Law enforcement tells me somebody out here in Estacada found her body just off this Forest Service road back on September 1st. An autopsy led detectives to determine this was a homicide case.
Things take an even stranger turn because the tragic incident happened while the couple was actually there, camping in that very spot. Coincidentally, they had a camera mounted on their van, and on the night they stayed there, it captured something unsettling. Let's take a look at what the footage revealed.
Just as we were turning out the lights, our security cameras captured something very strange.
Let's take another look at the footage. It's clear that something is moving. You can actually see it walking. But what's strange is that it looks like a person, only see-through, as if it doesn't have a solid body at all. Now, of course, this could easily be a light distortion, something that made the figure appear translucent. But there's no denying that someone, or something, was near their campsite that night. We can't say for sure if it's connected to the grim story from earlier, but it definitely remains an unsettling mystery. One that truly gives you chills. What about you? How would you feel if you were in their place? Don't forget to drop your answer in the comments and give this video a like. If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. And hey, YouTube just added a new feature called Hype. If you use it, you'll help this video reach more people, and that honestly means the world to me. Up next, we meet Michael, a young man passionate about nature, and more recently, about bushcrafting. He's also the face behind a small but promising YouTube channel called Ad Outdoors, which already has a few fascinating videos. One of them caught my attention, a short film where Michael documented how, over several months, he built a small rustic cabin and a wooden bench, all by hand, in a place that holds special meaning to him. That bench was actually a gift for his mother, a beautiful gesture if you ask me. And I'm clearly not the only one who thinks so, because someone else who visits the same area left him a message saying how incredible his work was. But let's hear it from Michael himself.
This is my favorite spot in the entire world. I have been coming to this spot ever since I was probably 13 or 14. It's always been a place where I could come and just relax. It's always been my favorite sunset spot. It's been a place where I think, where I find peace, where I find rest. I always felt a very strong presence. I'm a big believer in God, and I've always felt him in this area, and that's why I decided, I'm gonna build a shelter, because this place is almost like one of my spiritual homes. So I wanna build a physical home here and camp out here one day and watch the sunsets. What's been really, really cool in the past couple weeks is that I have found out that this spot is not just my favorite place, but another person's. There's been a little rock formations been forming behind me, and also there's been little rocks placed near my fort. Now, I built this bench for my mom, so my mom comes out here a lot, so I thought it was just her. And then one day I find this notebook in my fort, and it's a stranger who comes to this place ever so often because they love this place too. And they also let me know that they love my fort and they love what I am doing.
Now, that first video was filmed during summer, as you can clearly tell from the scenery. But just 2 weeks ago, in October, Michael posted an update about his little project, and unfortunately, things took a very unpleasant turn. Let's continue.
About 8 months ago, I started building my mini log cabin. What took 6 months of hard work and effort led me to one of my greatest builds I've ever made. It was my first time really doing an outdoor boys style cabin. But now it is gone. Standing no more than a month, this cabin has now been reduced to a pile of sticks by God knows who and God knows when. And when I discovered this, I was extremely angry. And I'm still extremely angry. But I was shouting profanities into the wind for probably 20 minutes. Stuff that I should never repeat on camera or probably ever repeat again. And what angered me most was not necessarily the destruction of the cabin, but the bench that I made my mother for Christmas. It was completely uprooted, and that just drove me mad because that was such a special gift to my mother because she likes to often come out here and enjoy the sunset and a cup of coffee. And I guess you just can't have that in these woods. They just gotta take, whoever it is, gotta take everything from you. Speaking of taking things, another thing that really made me mad was one, the tarp that was on this cabin was just stolen. Definitely was not the wind that took that one. That was just deliberately taken. And on top of that, they took probably the most special item I've had in years. That notebook that stranger gave to me, complimenting me about the shelter. I felt so violated when I discovered that notebook was gone because we shared so many, not super personal stories, but very deep and emotional stories about this area and the space that we love the most. And if you want to hear some of those stories, I highly recommend going and watching the cabin build. I talk a little bit more detail about the wonderful things that we discussed. And while I am still in shock and pretty angry, a fire has started inside me to want to build something even greater than this. I had so many plans for this cabin in the winter. I really wanted to stay out here in a storm, but now I know that I have to work even harder to build another one. And I'm completely okay with that. I just really want to prove to those people who destroyed my cabin is that they didn't destroy me. They didn't destroy my creative abilities. They didn't destroy my love for making videos. And hopefully in the months to come, you'll see an awesome building video. And on top of that,
I don't know about you, but this story touched me more than any sound of footsteps in the dark ever could. Because this is something real. Something you can feel. The video doesn't end there though. Michael left a message there for whoever did this in case they would ever come back. I'll leave it up so you can pause and read it. Of course, that raises a lot of questions. Why would someone do this? Who would do something like that? Could it be the same person who left him that note before? Or maybe someone who saw the build and simply wanted to destroy it? Sadly, we don't have those answers. But what I can say is, I truly hope Michael doesn't give up, and that next time, he builds something even more beautiful. Justin Chase is a young YouTuber who posts all kinds of videos. But most often, his content revolves around exploration and adventures in nature. In this next story, however, he takes a slightly different approach. Instead of going out blindly in search of something interesting to film, he decides to rely on technology. So, he turns to ChatGPT for help, to guide him toward a new place to explore, and hopefully, to capture something worth sharing.
What am I doing right now, dude? I asked ChatGPT to make our plans for us today. I asked, hey ChatGPT, I need you to give me coordinates to a location I can drive to. It should be about an hour away from here, Johnson City. Make it somewhere that would be good for a video, but I do not want you to tell me where it is. Make it a surprise. Thanks, bud. Love you. See you soon. Kissy emoji, heart emoji. I probably could have left that last part out. And sure enough, he very quickly got back to me because that's his job, people. He said, hey there, I've got a surprise destination for you just about an hour's drive from Johnson City. It's a unique spot that should make for an engaging video. I'll be the judge of that, thank you very much. Here's the coordinates. Plug these into your GPS and let the adventure begin. Can't wait to hear about your experience. Drive safe and have fun. Kissy face, heart emoji. We have kind of a thing going on, me and ChatGPT. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's kind of the whole vibe for
So our guy Justin decided to trust ChatGPT, and at first, everything seemed fine. But the coordinates he received led him deep into the forest, far from any familiar trail, and from there, things started to get dangerous. Toward the end of the video, we get this particular piece of footage, and it's where everything changes.
Okay. This is, unfortunately, this was supposed to be a lighthearted video. I don't know what I said last, but I got probably halfway there and heard some kind of growl. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was a bear, but it certainly sounded, I think it was probably a mountain lion or something. I think that I'm pretty much done with being like an idiot on this channel and being totally reckless for really no reason. I really don't know what else to say at the moment. I don't know how I'm going to resolve this video, but that's also not really what I should be worrying about at the moment. I'm just going to focus on getting out of here at the moment.
But the story doesn't end there. Just before heading down the road that led him into the forest, Justin came across a man who was fishing nearby. He asked the man for directions, but instead of simple guidance, he got a warning about the area he was about to enter. Let's take a look.
Am I here to get to the other side of this or no? ChatGPT, you know what ChatGPT? Yeah. It sent me here and it sent me to some random location and it's up there, but I don't think there's anything actually up there.
Maybe a bear.
Yeah, is it high bear activity in here?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of bears. They come in our backyard. There was one seen yesterday afternoon. On that side, there's a bear right there. This time last year, hanging out on that side. But that side doesn't get explored a whole often, so that's where they're at probably. So, right. But they're black bears. Yeah. The reason we can't camp here anymore is because of that. This little girl got, like, and her mom, like, got mauled. And, yeah, like, so they don't let people camp out here.
After hearing what the man said, it's pretty clear that the sound Justin heard was most likely made by a bear. But what's even more concerning is that even after learning this, he still decided to go into the forest to film his video. That decision could have truly put his life in danger, and honestly, no amount of views or footage is worth that risk. Why would you do something like that in the first place? Sort of Interesting is a channel entirely dedicated to camping and outdoor adventures, and the man behind it happens to be a huge fan of stealth camping. Now, if you know anything about stealth camping, you know that the main goal is pretty simple: don't get caught. But this time, he decided to take things to the extreme because the spot he chose was far from quiet. In fact, it was a place with a lot of people passing by. Let's take a look.
How good is this little area here? Nice and open, a good amount of flat space, only a few little stones dotted around, but most importantly, for somewhere that there's an unbelievable amount of people walking around, even now, it's nicely sheltered, especially well hidden and camouflaged when you come down to waist height and below. Got a lot of good trees growing and a lot of downed wood. I'm going to leave a few items here from my bag just to lower the weight on my back, because even though I anticipate it going extremely chilly tonight, which is why I've currently got an extra layer for bedtime on, although I am going to wear all of this straight through till the morning, it's been a beautiful day and it's still really warm in the evening here. So carrying all that kit and wearing extra layers is definitely sweating a little bit more than I wanted to on the way down here. Anyway, I'm going to go and find somewhere beautiful on the riverside to have something to eat, and we'll come back and pitch the bivvy. I swear 2 people have already been within very close proximity. I don't think they've seen me, because why would they? Who would even look in here for someone? But I'm being very, very cautious.
With that in mind, our guy starts looking for a quiet little spot where he can cook something to eat and relax before nightfall. But as darkness settles in, the tension begins to rise.
I'm still quite upbeat about the situation, nothing serious, but quite comical. So I thought I'd go out and have a look at what was going on around in the main walking area, because there were a few torches going by and there'd been some noises and rustling in the woodland that I didn't think anybody would be in. So I thought I'll go out and just have a nose around. So you might have seen that little glimpse of lights that were heading towards me. As I was focused on them way across a field or two, I almost jumped out of my skin because a dog walker came down behind me. So in a bit of a panic to make sure they didn't think that I was milling around in that particular area, I had to immediately start walking in the exact opposite way of the bivvy. So what I don't like about this situation is I've got my electronics and my cooking stuff with me, but all of the sleeping bags, the bivvy, the air mattress is all out there on its own, which I don't think it's in any danger, but I would rather be with it than separated with people out and about in the area. Okay, well that was a much bigger detour than I expected. I ended up going into the local village just to get from one end of the woodland to the other so I could approach the bivvy in secret again. Yeah, there's a few people still about, which is why I'm recording in the bivvy and just with the phone light. So unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be a big night of doing loads of filming on the campsite itself because it's just too busy still. Between all of the spooky tree branches, there is a sky full of stars. It's fantastic visibility up there. I've 100% been spotted. Right, I'm trying to keep calm and keeping calm. I'm almost too scared to breathe here. I think a dog or something just came in. I was half asleep when, with no prior torchlight, a lot of animal-like rustling broke out. Then suddenly in the darkness, a loud crack sound really woke me with a start. Oh, that's right, they're looking straight at me. I'm trying not to panic. Hello? Right, I'm just going to use the phone light now, and I'm just going. They haven't been about, I haven't seen a single light now for maybe 5-10 minutes. I don't even know. I've been just trying to keep as calm as possible, but when they walked off and the light went out, I don't even know which direction they were, but somewhere in that direction. I forget.
Luckily, nothing bad happened, although the person who pointed that light at him clearly did it on purpose. There's a good chance they had already seen him earlier in the day. Situations like this can turn dangerous fast, especially if the person who finds you is aggressive, homeless, or decides to call the police. Once things finally calmed down, he packed up his gear and headed home. He didn't want to risk being spotted again or wait around to see what might happen next, and honestly, good for him. Better safe than sorry. And before we move on, I just want to say, if you've made it this far into the video, thank you. Don't forget to leave a like. It really helps a lot. Claire is one of those people who truly feels at home only when she's out in nature. Her outdoor journeys, the nights spent camping, the long walks through the woods, are more than just a hobby. They're a way of life. Through her channel, Wild Bear, she shares simple yet genuine moments that remind you what peace really feels like. This time, we follow her on a rainy camping trip, well prepared for the cold, the damp air, and the quiet that always comes with the storm.
Okay, I've got my hilly for this, of course, and I've just straight away pegged it in by 4 corners so that I can't lose it. That is the first set of tent poles in. So this tent can actually take 2 sets of tent poles for extreme weather conditions. So I borrowed a set from lovely Ash of Ash Outdoors UK. Thank you, Ash. Hopefully this will work, otherwise I'll be replacing your tent poles and mine when I get home. But I think this is going to make it really strong. So let's stick these in. I can flood down and take out my tent. So that's good. Oh God. This is so nice and cozy in here. I love it. I've taken some time to wring out my clothes, which were sopping wet on my bottom half. So I've taken them off, got in my sleeping bag. My merino layers on top are just damp really, so I'm going to let my body heat dry those off, that'll be fine. It's 12-13 degrees outside, so nice and mild, and I think this is a good place to be.
After setting up her tent, drying off, and cooking a warm meal, Claire began to prepare for the night ahead. At first, the rain was gentle, almost soothing. But as darkness fell, the wind started to batter against the tent walls, and the storm quickly turned into something far more intense.
Finish my drink and try and get some sleep. After you guys, good morning. Bye. I didn't get that on camera, but that was a lightning strike.
This first strike came with a sickening, cracking boom. It had hit close, in the direction of the small lakes and mines just a few hundred metres behind my tent. And then came another. And I realised it's nearly always the thing that I'm not expecting that's going to make me question my life choices.
Right, I thought maybe it's just an isolated strike, but that was another one. And I think I have to pack up and get down now, go back to my car.
A feeling of dread came over me. Despite my preparation, I was no longer safe from this storm. There was nothing that could protect me from lightning up on this high, open shelf in the mountains, except luck.
Claire decided it was safer to leave before the storm reached her. And so she did. In the middle of the night, under heavy rain and a wind that shook everything around her, she packed her gear and headed toward the car. Lightning flashed across the horizon, and every step felt like a gamble. Soaked and exhausted, she finally made it back to safety. It all ended well, but it's the kind of moment that reminds you how unforgiving nature can be. And maybe that's the lesson here. Sometimes it's better to know when to walk away rather than test how long you can endure. Would you have done the same? Let me know in the comments. I'd really like to hear your thoughts. The last clip tonight comes from the channel Wander with Vickers, where Vickers, a young woman with a deep love for nature and quiet places, shares her camping and exploration adventures. This time, she's going stealth camping in her car at one of her favorite spots, a narrow, unpaved forest road that's almost forgotten by time. It's the perfect place for a night where everything depends on how well you can stay unseen. Let's take a look.
Walked off the edge. So I'm walking around Middleton Lakes in the dark because I decided to walk the whole lake and didn't really think about the time. And of course just kept stopping for birdie photos and videos. Oh, we've got a bridge here. I'm gonna hope that I came this way. Yes, I'm a bit directionally challenged at the best of times, and I'm on a bit of a solo expedition. Oh well, we'll see. I think I'm really hot from all the panic. Well, I say panic, it's not really panic, but I couldn't find the bridge that I was meant to be going across. So that was a bit annoying.
After taking a few photos in the quiet of the forest, Vickers made her way back to the car. Night had already fallen. She drove toward the spot she had chosen earlier, the one we mentioned at the beginning. But when she arrived, something felt off. The place wasn't empty. Someone was already there.
There's someone there. In my place. It's my space. My space. So yeah, it is looking really nice up here. It's oh, what is it called again? I forgot. Yeah, I just saw a deer as I pulled in. I scared it away, obviously, with my big car. But yeah, so I want to sort of get out and make a little sort of camp area, but I'm feeling a little bit about that person that's over there in their car. But it's only like 7:20, so I'm sure that they'll hop along soon on their merry way back to their little warm house, or flat, or shed, or sofa. loud, boomy music. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But fuck off, you're in my space. So I just came and turned around in here, like a little scaredy cat. Oh, there's people. But I saw this little pull-in bit as well, so now I'm protected from them. And there's a deer outside, I can hear it moving around, I can see its little eyes twinkling around. Silly music, people. Go home. They're leaving. Oh, oh, oh. They're leaving. They left. Haha, victory is ours.
Vickers' relief comes too soon because their departure changes nothing. Her night is about to be long and filled with the glare of car headlights. Let's continue.
Now the question is, I'm really bad with looking at myself on the screen. Now, the decision is, do I go up there and risk potential other forest newcomers, or do I stay here in my little hideaway spot? Okay, so I'm outside. Again, it's so warm. It's so warm. Right, let's see. So I'm sat here in my little hideaway, tucked away bit, and in pulls another car. They pulled up right up next to me. It's like I thought they were going to try and give me their parking ticket or something. But it's like, mate, it's 8 o'clock, go home. So he's still sat over there, he's still got an engine on. Yeah. Peeping on my party. That's what all these cars keep doing. Just walking up to me. I mean, just driving up to me. I don't like it. And now that one's gone and parked by the other one. Do these people know each other? Are they like dogging or something? I don't know. I've had 3 cars come up and shine their lights on me. I hid for that one. I just want them to go away.
Even with cars passing through all night, Vickers decided to stay. Luckily, nothing bad happened, but the whole situation was undeniably strange. It seemed clear that the people who kept showing up there knew each other. But what were they doing in that isolated spot so late at night? Maybe it was just a friendly meetup, or maybe something darker. If you were in her place, would you have stayed? Don't forget to drop your answer in the comments and give this video a like. If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. And hey, YouTube just added a new feature called Hype. If you use it, you'll help this video reach more people, and that honestly means the world to me.